TV off.
Yep, I'm doing it now.
Good evening. Welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the think show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so-called African American didn't find his way to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous One. And tonight, in order to fix what's going on, we have to know what happened. And we have to know what happened so we don't keep making the same mistakes over and over again. You know, like the last mistake we had in voting. How do we get caught in those type of things? Why do we keep doing things that goes against our interest? And I mean, we do it and we don't care about it. And so you'll see with indigenous people in America, you'll notice that their designation is always changing. Black, African American, Negro, colored. Why is it important to change the designation of the people? Why is it important to disconnect them from their ancestors? Why is that so important? Well, tonight we're going to show you why it's important and how it is applied when it is used on us. How is our designation always changing, but we're not the one making the change? Do we think of that? Do we think of that? So tonight, I got a treat for y'all. This is my sister from way back, Janet Daly. Welcome to African Americans Ain't Africans.
Hi. It's so good to be here. It's been so long. My goodness. How are you?
Baby, it's just time. You know, we do things in the time. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad that you came to share some knowledge with us tonight.
I will try to do that.
I know you will.
Yes. We're gonna.
So you see everything that's going on.
Yes.
You know, boom, in the you know you've seen it before.
Yes. Nothing's new.
Nothing. What should we be looking out for seriously?
That's that's quite.
You there? Okay, while we wait for Janet to get back, Alberta, Washington. Alberta. I never heard a name like that before. Those names are cool. You know, when the mom and dad take the name and they try to, they're creating a new life form, and they're putting their stamp on it. So a lot of times what you'll see, the names may not be those everyday names like Mark and David and Matthew and blah, blah, blah. The parents have put their own spin on it. That shit is cool. That is cool. So, you know, that's how we have to look at ourselves. We're just not black. You are a nation of people. You're like a waterfall. All we got to do is work together. That's all we got to do is work together. So we're waiting for Janet to come back on. She just kicked off, so she'll be right back. So I want to thank all of you guys. High Knowledge Seeker, Indigenous Survivor, Indigenous Survivor. Indigenous Survivor, what we going to do coming up? What is to do coming up? I would have thought by now that, you know, since brothers got all this money, ball and cars and blah, 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 by now we'd be growing hemp straws and doing stuff with the hemp, get back into the cotton industry. How come we ain't done that? How come we not taking over our industries? Stuff that you was doing before the foreigners came. How come there's no African American cigarette company and you're the purveyors of tobacco? You back with us, Janet?
I'm here.
Cool. Now,
Uh,
what was you saying?
we see everything, but we don't want to see. Everything is in our faces. We're being shown what we need to see. But for some reason, we are still looking for acceptance, not doing our work for self. Does that make sense?
It makes all the sense in the world.
We have to take it. The old ladies used to say, do for self.
Right.
Nothing that's going on here out there in Washington and any place else, none of that is going to change. It hasn't in my lifetime.
Right.
This is nothing new. But we're still looking for acceptance by their work. Where's our work?
What do you mean by that?
Well, they want to take care of us. We want them to take care of us. We're looking for them to do the things that we should be doing for self, to take care of our schools, our food, our water, our jobs, our this and that. I lived during segregation when we had no choice. When we had no choice, we did fine for each other. And we're going to have to go back to that today.
Okay, so back when that was going on, the designation for the African American was what?
There was no such thing, no such people, no such designation.
No,
As
but
African.
no, it was because when other people name you and they get you to accept that name, oh yeah, some chicanery is going on. So I know like African American came up because like what you're seeing with the African Americans now, they're trying to change history and say people like Frederick Douglass is an African American when he himself had never even heard the term.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you're correct. And if you do research, and even Dr. King's writings, they've changed Negro to African American. So you've got to know at that point that these are edited copies of his documents, which should never be allowed.
Right.
That should never be allowed. They don't change anybody else's anything, but they change ours. So we have to look back in unedited copies of documents to see the original documents. And they're lying too. They're lying. They're telling us what they think we want to hear.
So how do we get over that hurdle? Because I think people like myself and you, we can see through the bullshit.
Yes.
I mean, like you say, it's been done before and same, but a lot of us still fall for it.
We do because yes, and sadly, it's because we somewhere along the line, well, we believe that they're brilliant people, that they're right, that they know what they're doing. And sadly, that came through the system of education because they educated us, quote unquote. So we learned their education, not what we already knew. We were cool. We knew stuff. We were fine. But we didn't keep ours because we really believed that theirs was better, that they knew more, that they were brighter, smarter. If you if our people would just listen to them today, they're not very bright. They're not very bright. They don't know. They don't know. But we've got to forget that. We got to leave. We got to block that and come to our own and do for self. And that's what we're not doing.
And why do you and why do you, and what do you think the problem is that we're not doing it?
We want to be. We believe them. Number one, we believe them. We believe that they're smart and they have the answers for us. And number and we are not confident in our abilities to do what we know we can do. And that's been programmed. We're looking at them all the time. We've got the TV on. We listen and watch everything that they do. They market to us. They've also programmed us. So we've got to cut the TV off. We've got to come together in our own world, in our own groups, in our own houses and talk. And that we're not doing. We're not doing that. You have this venue here, this wonderful, wonderful show where we can discuss these things. But we've got to come closer together. We've got to take care of our own and our children. I'm very concerned about our children.
So when you say children, do you mean the children that are here now, or the children
Yeah.
that are to come?
I think that no, well, the children that are here now are going to make the children that are going to come. These children were made by somebody, and they're not doing well. They're not doing well. I'm horrified at the fact that there are so many of our children in foster care. I'm horrified by the fact that we've got children who are unschooled, but we don't gather them to teach them. We're waiting for the schools to open for what? What? Why? We've got to do for self. We're not doing that. And there's stuff coming along that if we don't get it together very shortly, and I mean seriously shortly, there's more stuff coming along. We haven't been able to take care of ourselves here on the planet right now. There's another world coming, and it's real.
It's
It's
real.
real. It's real. To those who are leaving here and going someplace else, what are we going to do here if we don't take care of ourselves?
Right.
It's serious. We're not paying attention. Those spaceships are not going up for nothing. They're not. Can I tell you a quick story?
Yes, ma'am.
When I was teaching school, this has been 70, 50, 50, 40, a lot of years, right? And I said, I taught art, and my kids were crazy. My kids were brilliant. Our kids are brilliant. I have to say that. They are brilliant. These schools are not able or don't want to teach them. Let's put it that way. Because they are exceptional and they get bored very quickly. So you have to keep them going. And teachers outside of your community is not going to do that. So one day they running all around and I said, got them together, and I said to them, and I'm talking a lot of years ago, I said, I want you to build a space station. They said to me, Oh, I was Miss Davis said, "Oh, Miss Davis, there's no such thing. That's not going to happen." Then I said, "Hey, I don't care what you say. I want a space station." Well, how are we going to do that? I said, "You're going to go to every teacher. You're going to get a piece of everything you're taught: math, shop, cooking, your cooking class, history, all your classes. You got to go do some research to put it into the. How am I going to eat if I'm in space? What am I going to wear? How am I going to breathe? Da 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 da." I told all the teachers what they were going to do. They fussed all day. The space stations were unbelievable. Back then, I've seen one of my kids since then. Happy, saying to me, "I can't believe you made us do that back then." I said, "Yeah, what?" "I know." They say to me today, "I know." We have to do for self, and we have to look. If the only thing we're doing on social media today is division, away from each other, unloving each other, uncaring for each other, what are we going to do? And we don't even know that this other stuff is going on. We have no idea because we're not paying attention. And the sad thing about it is we're used. We are still, as in slavery, we're still used as their medium of exchange. Still, we are their money.
We they money.
We their money. We busy fussing about dumb stuff, stuff that doesn't matter, and we're their money.
We they money, and we proud.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Janet.
We
So
don't. We shouldn't be using banks. We shouldn't be using insurance. We're not getting anything. What are we getting? You go to a bank, they get paid interest, money for the checks, this, that. We get no interest. The money doesn't grow for us. What are we going there for? Supporting them, making them money. Back in the day during segregation, when we weren't allowed to go to the banks, weren't allowed to do this and that, how do you think we operated? We operated from a brick in the basement behind the wall. And everything was cash. Why are we supporting them and we're not supported in any way? We're not. We're not taking care of our elders. Everybody's bragging now they got an elder in a nursing home. You give up your house, your money, all of that. You give up everything to be like them in a nursing home. We never did that. There could be one person, two people, maybe two.
let me ask you.
And
Okay, so would you say, and this is what I wanted the program to be about, so we can see what happened and see where those breaks were.
mm-hmm,
So in order for us to do that, I mean,
mm-hmm.
normally people died at their house.
Right.
So
And
how do we get to it? Have we become that greedy where we'll sell a house to put our mothers and fathers in homes? How, how,
Yeah.
how, I mean, how did that happen?
It's not even greed. It's not. Again, we're following them because see, you're not even selling the house. You're getting nothing because when you put mama in the nursing home, you have to give up your house. You have to give up. You have to give up your ownership, your house, your benefits. Everything goes to the nursing home. Everything goes to the state. And then what the state does is that they use the property as collateral for the World Bank. Want something more interesting? That World Bank that they're taking your property's value to invest in the World Bank is the same bank that paid for our enslavement. It's the same bank.
So it'll be okay to say that we we help this along. We
Yes,
or to say we're reaping what we sow.
we haven't changed. We haven't. Yes, things were kept from us. Yes, we weren't quote unquote allowed to understand their system. But there's no excuse for that today. There's no excuse for that today. We took care of our own. We were able to hand down property, hand down money, hand down stuff to for the kids and what for generations. We have nothing now. They have they got it. We gave it to them. Why?
How did we let that happen? What was the biggest what made that happen?
You you're allowed to disagree with me. And anyone that's listening is allowed to disagree with me. But I'm going to say it because I believe it. We still think their ice is colder. And whatever they do, we copy it. Whatever they do, we want to be like them.
Ain't that oh my God.
And that's a reality. They put their mama in a nursing home with one piece of money. They got other money. They got more insurance. The insurance salesman that would come to our house in the hood and sell us a $3,000, $3,500 policy for 15 cents a month. And if you ask the insurance man, I need more insurance than that. Well, that's all you can get right now. They were getting investment money. They wouldn't tell us about it. They didn't tell us. So here we are in a position, knowledge is power. So what do? We have got to change stuff today. Today. That's what we have to do. And it's important. Our children, our people, I'm noticing they don't look good. They don't look good. Our children are not happy. What are we doing?
So would you say it'd be the right thing? So let's say if we just looked at women in the 2000, 1990, 1980, 1970, 1960,
Mm-hmm.
1950s, if we just
Mm-hmm.
up and pull all the women up to today, we could see that.
Yes, because everybody has something to do. We're going to get we're going to talk about order. There's order in everything, and women and men Women are women and men are men. They're not the same. We got talked into believing that. We got talked by them, copying them again, believed differently. So we left the order of our homes. We left the order of our homes. And when we left the order of our homes, we left all those things that worked. We also left loving, not having, loving. There's a difference. There's a difference. And this is not too, I'm not coming down on anybody. I'm just saying it doesn't work. You can't have babies wantonly. You can't be with different people every other day and think it's gonna matter in your life. It doesn't work. I'm not coming down on it. I'm just saying it doesn't work.
It just doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Not having that mama in the house to take care of home and take care of the kids and take care of the clothes and cook the food and man go to his job and supports the family, comes in there and lays back because mama got the food ready for him. He can kick back and after his hard day's work and feel like $1 million in his house. And she loving him because he went to work. And he's taking care of his house. That's what a man has to do. She's happy because she set the table and got the food ready. That's what women do. Do the homework with the kids, put them to bed, and then spend the rest of the night with her man. Let me tell you something. Back in the day, back in the day, and I remember reading this about people on the land, us Aboriginals, indigenous people. They had less babies than girls have today. And they didn't have birth control. That's deep, isn't it?
So I mean, so they were just had to be advanced to know, how to take care of themselves. That's what I mean. When we came off the land and we came to start being this Black and African American, when we came, I'm serious. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. They're just slowly peeling you from the land, and
Mm-hmm.
and we have lost our minds.
Mm-hmm.
And we're and see what gets me about it is we arrogant about it.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
damn, dude, you don't see us get you see us being murdered, being killed by the cops, there's all these ailments going around, and you still want to be a semen receptacle unit for another man, and you're
Mm-hmm.
a man?
Yeah.
Are you crazy? And
Yeah.
and I'm supposed to sit back and go, oh, we should go ahead and do that. Baby, I'm nah. That, like you said, there's certain things that you don't do. A tree,
Right.
a tree doesn't bend down from the top and drink water. It gets
Right.
That's how it's done.
Yes.
And like you said, the order, we have totally gotten from that order.
Mm-hmm. And these young people out here, they were born to somebody. They were born to somebody. They didn't ask to be. They didn't. They were born to somebody. So clearly, whoever had them, or they're not taking care of them now. They wouldn't be in the street. For real. They wouldn't be in the street. Mm-mm. Somebody's missing. They didn't ask to be here. They didn't make that happen to bring them here. but they're suffering from it. And that's what we got in the street.
So Janet, do you think this will ever turn over? Do you think there'll become a time where we just go, we no, we can't do this. We can't go out like the little hoes. Or do you think
No.
or you think we just gonna throw in the towel?
I think, sad to say, there will be those who get it and many, many who won't. But there will be those who will listen to what we're saying. There will be we've got tremendous researchers. We've got readers. We've got people that think, that are brilliant. They'll be all right. They'll be all right. What too many of them don't do in their brilliance is understand the need to love others, share with others,
Right.
bring others in with them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I oh boy. Can you imagine? I asked a sister one time,
mm-hmm,
this sister, she was a thinker. And I asked her, I'm like, what could you do with all the manpower of the 2 million brothers locked up in jail? I mean, with just the man, if you had that manpower, what could you do? She was like, shit, what could you do?
mm-hmm,
We don't think of ourselves as
mm-hmm,
then.
mm-hmm,
You can tell just by looking at, you said earlier when we were talking today, you can look
mm-hmm.
at a person's eyes.
Yeah.
You can look in a person's eyes. And
That's why they're in jail. They're in jail because of that power. We've got to understand that we're still, quote unquote, what we were called then back then, slaves to them. We don't get it. The power of the male, they lock them up. They're gone. Females too. Brown people too. We can claim we know where we're from because they lied about the ship. So we know this belongs to us. We know this belongs, but we're not the only ones it belongs to. It belongs to a whole lot of people, melanated from different cultures that were enslaved, that ran to the islands, ran back to the islands. Bob Marley said that. I've heard people say Bob Marley's not one of us. His mother was white.
no,
His
his
father,
mom, his
his
mama,
mom,
his mama was Jamaican.
right. And I've heard people come down on the brother for that.
Why?
Same reason they come down on it. They don't know who they are for real.
Right.
Now I said that to you earlier,
Right.
and everybody just listen. You look at faces, look at eyes, look at bone structure, look at height. We're all mixed, or with everything. You
And,
can't hate on somebody because somebody might not be what you think they ought to be when y'all all in the same condition.
I mean, it's called the Americas.
There you go.
It's called the Americas.
There you go.
You look at
There.
the map, right? If you go down to the Caribbean and you take glass bottom boat trips, if
hmm
you can tell that the Caribbean was once above water.
There you go.
You can look at the Amazon forest
There
and
you
tell
go.
It ran up through here. You gotta stop letting people tell you what is.
There you go.
You have to know yourself,
You
and the
got.
only way you don't know
Mm-hmm.
that back with the earth. I mean, seriously, we sound this is where we sound stupid with that black shit.
Mm-hmm.
The black
Mm-hmm.
man, first man on the planet. Then
Yep.
okay, why we suffering now as a group all over
Yeah.
the world?
There you go.
I don't know. I didn't think of that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like some dumb shit.
Mm-hmm. I've heard I've heard people recently this week. I ain't a fan of nobody because in the government is not necessarily trustworthy. But I'm not talking about that. But I've heard people say that Kamala is not one of us, and it took me to have a long conversation with a East Indian, East, and they can be this their melanin they can be as black as coal with straight hair, right?
You remember that story? Remember that story of the Christian missionary who went down to an island off of India and they killed his ass.
Uh-huh.
Remember that story? See, that's over there.
Yes.
You know,
Well,
I get it.
yeah. But even here, he told me, now my grandparents originally are from Trinidad, and he told me about the East Indians in Jamaica and Trinidad that
Mhm.
are as many as they are and speak the dialect. They
Yeah.
sound, if you close your eyes, you wouldn't know that you weren't talking to a Jamaican or a person from Trinidad, but they're East Indian. So when I hear them, now I do get pissed when I hear them call her African American because she didn't say that. They're like news media people saying that because they don't know us. They don't know who we are.
Who doesn't know?
The media.
No, they know. See, everybody knows that
Mm-hmm.
giving us these bullshit stories and we
Yes.
could be falling for it. Whatever
Yes.
whatever they say, we believe.
Yes. There you go.
If they tell you starting February 1st, we're gonna start calling the sun the moon and the moon the sun. Guess what, Negro? I was thinking about the same thing, boss. That's us. That's how we are.
Yeah.
What do you say? Your people. So one of the things that I wanted to ask
Mm-hmm.
is bones. And since you've been in the mortuary business, bones. Is it possible, or could it be that bones are antennas? And I'm just asking because if we are antennas ourselves, which means we give information and we receive information or words or whatever, energy in any
It's
form you call
energy. There you go.
it,
And
any,
yeah, and that you brought that up back in the day, in the beginnings before the colonists came here. Um, we Aboriginals would hoist. Well, no. Well, I would hoist bodies high up on a tree to allow eagles to eat them, eat the flesh. And after the flesh was eaten, bring the bones down and bury them in the ground. And they do their dances out barefoot, circle dances, what later became called powwows, but We didn't call them powwows. But anyway, we would dance on the ground, do ceremonies, sing, beat drums, da 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 da. And that was for the energy of the dead to feed the sun because the sun fed us. Does that make sense?
Oh, no, oh, it makes hella sense. Hella sense.
The sun was that important. And that energy from us kept us, took care of us, fed the ground so that we could eat, and spiritually connected with us. And it was usually done near the water, near the ocean or a lake, any place near some water. And water would be like the amen, like you do the dance and da 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 da, and then go put your feet in the water. And that was like the amen and the
Do you
cleanse.
do you think,
Wow.
and I know you do. Do you think is that something we should look at now?
Yes, without question. Without question. We need to be outside. We need the sun to take care of us. We're getting these illnesses and these sicknesses because we're not eating the food properly. We're not growing it properly. Um, we're not doing those things. And we're not connecting. Our energy is off. The energy is off. I can remember again during segregation, we didn't have medicine. We didn't have their medicine. We did not have their medicine, and we were healed because we had the herbs. We had the acidity bag that drew all the acid out of us. We were healthier then than we are now. Doctors can't be trusted to take care of us. And today, we're seeing a lot of problems with what's going on in the labs, what medicines they're giving us, and the altering of the egg and sperm. And we're seeing it in our males. We're seeing it as low weight babies. More fetuses are dying. Oh, we got so much. We don't have work to do. We need to get back. That's all. Get back to who we were.
It's just that simple.
It's that simple. It ain't deep. We feed ourselves. We raise our children. We teach them. We make sure that they learn something every day. They learn something physically. They learn an instrument. I've been trying to get a picture. I've been trying to get a picture because I don't understand it. When they did that thing at the Capitol the other day, one of the men that climbed the wall, Carrie, on his shoulder, he had a conga drum. I am going to get that photo because I want to know why. It's our drum.
Right.
Yep. Nobody has said a word about it, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, DB says when we go back to that, the changes will happen naturally.
Yes. Because it's right. Why did we assume that what we were doing was wrong? There's nothing wrong with what we were doing. We were programmed. We were marketed. Do you know this? Do you? They market medicine, they market cancer, they market all those things that make them money, and we pay attention to it.
That's all we do.
Hmm. And we can do more of it now because we're all on lock.
Right. Man, did you see Netflix stock when this COVID thing went down?
Hmm.
400, it went up to $420 a share.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Hmm.
how much of that do we do?
There you go.
Especially on TV.
There you go.
You
They're
know,
still
we
making money. They're making more money now. All those big corporations and stuff and stuff and stuff, they're making money.
say that again, Janet.
All those corporations, the big corporations, they're still making money through COVID. They're making money.
Like Original Royalty 72 says, meanwhile, we ain't creating nothing.
There you go.
You know
We
what
fuck.
you know what we would come up overnight if we did this?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say it because I'm not. Uh, uh,
What?
it would
What?
be it'd be oh, but I'm not gonna say nothing. Because we not down. We we want to go buy Little John's pizza and sell.
Yeah.
We want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm good. That's
Yeah.
what that's what I'm saying. This
Yeah.
African American, this because what we really originally wanted to call the program, we just wanted to go through that uh, Negro, Black, African American, because there were some major things that happened when people were called that.
Mm-hmm.
There was what was going on when they stopped calling you Indians and red man and savage and all that. They start calling you colored.
Mm-hmm.
What went on before that? What went on in the social order with us? Same thing with colored, going from colored to Negro.
Mm-hmm.
How did that get launched? How did that happen? Who said that should happen? Then from Negro to Black.
Mm-hmm.
What was the social order? Who were the big athletes at the time? How
Wilt
was how
Chamberlain.
you know? What
All.
was on? To make that lexicon change, you're not a Negro no more, you're Black. And
Mm-hmm.
for all y'all that don't know, Black mean your ass is you're not here.
Right.
That's what Black means.
Right.
Go look up the etymology of the word and just do it. And you ain't even got to do that. Just think. If somebody called you, Janet, when you was a little girl and somebody said, "Your mama Black,"
Mm.
what would happen?
Oh, a fight, straight up, a straight up smashing.
How do we go to having so much emotional baggage with that term when it's a term to mean let's erase these niggas?
Right.
That's what the word means. And
African American has erased.
right. So this is
Right.
what I'm saying, y'all. This ain't no joke. This ain't no 1 or 2 year job, because remember, everybody has a say. You have a say.
Yes.
But if you don't say shit,
Right.
people just take it like you don't care.
Right. 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 I remember when Obama was president and people went to him and asked him to do stuff. He said, I remember this. He said, I can't do that. You have to start local. and get it to me. Huh? He said you have to start local. And it goes up the chain to me. Then I can do it. Oh, folk mad at him today. Ain't nothing to be mad about. If your locals don't do it, it can't go to the state. It can't go to the tri-state. It can't get to Washington. Period. So who have you elected in your hood? Bottom line. And right now, today, and I'm saying leave them alone right now. Leave DC alone. Leave all of them alone. Who's got your back? Where's your people in the hood? Where's the guy up on the corner to come down the block? I remember those days back then. They would come to the hood staying on the corner. Even in Harlem, they would do that. Stand on the corner, wave, and stand on a soapbox to tell you to vote for me. Vote for me. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Where are they today? Where are they that you elected, paid tax? They making good money to do nothing for you. Now, if you're upset, you think the government is just going to Washington and them, but they're just going to jump over to the hood and take care of your needs over here. It ain't happening right now. With the thing going on, and they're saying that we are the most getting it and the most dying. They're talking about us, but do you know, Kerry, they're not talking to us?
When have they ever?
They're not talking to us. Guess what? Those who represent us aren't talking to us either. And we're not making them. You gonna vote for them again? You not gonna write them a letter? I got a couple sisters here in Philly. They're tough. They're warriors. They're working alone. But you're going to continue. You're going to jump all the way over there to Washington, but you're not going to take care of home. You're not going to take care of your block.
You know how I see that, Janet. Serious, this whole political thing. It was created years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows what it means.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody understand it.
Right.
The people who they put in there are just people who can read the script well.
Right.
My suggestion is that this is my suggestion. And I know a lot of people ain't gonna like it. You can't do that. Because that's all they say. I mean, do something that'll make it work in your favor.
Yeah.
I mean, damn. I mean, at least be that motherfucker before you leave the planet. You always making it where other people win. Make it where your grandmama win.
Yes. Yes.
And what we have now is a bunch of shines who just don't care.
Right.
I say, let them get out of their way. And the people that do care, the people who know that they're part of this planet.
Yes.
What is the purpose of people on the planet? We don't, these are questions that are never asked. What are you here for?
Right.
Why are you here?
Right.
You have to answer that question.
Mm-hmm.
Either you're here to be constructive or non-constructive.
Mm-hmm.
Either or. Mm-hmm. It's not hard to pick up. You ain't got to scratch your head and guess.
It's not hard.
Constructive or non-constructive.
There you go.
If you're going to be non-constructive, I want to stay out of your way, because what happens with non-constructive people, they get wrapped up in their bullshit. And that alone takes them out. And I don't want to slow that up. I don't want to slow that up. If you're not trying to win, go lose.
Yep.
I don't care. Do. If you want to pretend like you're a man and you want to pretend like you're a woman, go do that. I don't want to be near you, because I know what goes around comes around. It's like, and these are, you know, like you were talking about, Janet, and maybe you could hit on a little bit. These were things that, you know, was told to you when you was a little girl. Be
Hmm.
nice, be nice to people, be courteous,
Yes.
be
And you
be
bet. Yes.
go
Yes.
ahead.
And you better speak. I remember I got busy in my book bag and passed the house, and the lady was outside, and I didn't speak to her. She told my mama whipped my behind. See,
Man,
these
you
were things that seem stupid, that ain't stupid,
no.
because it taught you, and not only that, it taught you to pay attention all the time.
Also
Whatever,
building also
oh,
building that confidence.
there you go. There you go.
You know, make
But
you know, yeah, I mean, I hear you. You're right.
mm, mm, mm. Well, right now, if people would pay attention to their money and do something to make more, everybody's got some little skill. I don't. It could be him and a curtain.
Are you
Don't
right?
matter. It could be frying some chicken once a week.
Right.
It could be anything. Do it. Stay out them banks. Do not go in those banks to take your money and take care of the children that you brought on this earth. You
And teach
brought up
teach
eight
them something
of them.
too.
Hmm?
And teach them something too.
Yes.
I don't I don't care if it's to tie shoes.
Right.
Teach them something.
Hmm.
So,
Yep.
Jack, I just want to say I really, 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 really appreciate you tonight. So now that we got the hookup hooked up, you gonna come back for me, please?
Absolutely. I'm excited. I can't wait. And I want to thank you. And the audience to listen to. I we are going to do good work here. And there's a lot more to talk about. A lot more. And hopefully, we'll help things to change. That's why we're here.
Right.
Those that can do. Simple as that. Simple
Those
as
those that can, that won't, step aside.
yes. Get out the way.
Cool,
For real.
Janet.
Thanks, darling.
All right, love. I will talk to you soon. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. There's another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans with the lovely Janet Daly. Hope we gave you something that you can use, because that's what we want to give you, something that you can use, something that makes sense, something that makes your thinking change from the mundane, everyday bullshit to the reality that's going on. So we want to thank Janet, but also we want to thank you, because without you, this wouldn't happen. You guys have a good evening, and we'll see you next time. Peace.